Hello, friends! Welcome back to Isabel Brown's channel. I am obviously not Isabel Brown, in case you didn't realize that. She didn't get like a face transplant or dye her hair, none of that. My name is Chrissy Clark. I am taking over the stream for Isabel while she relaxes on the beaches of Italy and Greece. Oh my gosh, I'm so jealous of her right now. She's married, she's out there living her best life on her honeymoon. But we are here to have a super fun day together. So if you guys have never heard of me before, you never met me, my name is Chrissy Clark. Like I said, I'm the host of a show called Underreported Stories. It is 5 stories that if you turned into CNN, MSNBC, or Fox News, you would not hear about that often or enough, in my opinion. And so I talk about those. You can find me on Rumble, Apple, Spotify, or TikTok and Instagram. With that being said, like I said, taking over the stream for Isabel. Isabel is on her honeymoon. She is going to be back on July 15th. So we will be spending all of next week together as well. But this is the last stream of the week, okay? Because I, like you, I'm going to go enjoy my July 4th weekend. My parents are in town. I'm super excited about that. They never come to town to visit me. So I'm truly honored. The problem is I've been cutting these not short, like we've still been having good long streams, but my goodness, I love my parents, but they come to town and they're like, okay, so we're going to dinner every night. We're doing something every night. And I'm like, ah, summer is truly here, which leads me to my topic for the day, which is summer and what is known colloquially online as brat girl summer. We're going to dive into all of that today. But if you haven't already, be sure to like, subscribe, comment, do all the fun things. And also just make sure you're lighting up the comments in the chat box because I'll talk to you guys throughout it. It'll be really fun. Anyway, let us begin let me begin by telling you guys that today's show is brought to you by Public Square. Public Square is a hub of more than 100,000 businesses that are pro-family, pro-faith, and pro-freedom. If you want to support this show, if you want to support Isabel, more importantly, be sure to head over to publicsquare.com. That is publicsquare.com. Shop your values, shop businesses that align with your values. Thank you, Public Square, for sponsoring today's show. Okay, so like I said, today I want to talk about the idea of brat girl summer. It's interesting. I noticed from the comments that I'm already seeing that y'all said that the girl in the thumbnail looks like she's smuggling raisins. I am deceased. That is so funny. So, if you didn't know who was in the thumbnail of this video, her name is Charli XCX. She's a fairly popular British singer who has migrated, her music has migrated into America. It's very iconopop, 2015s kind of I don't care, live my best lifestyle kind of music. Think Dua Lipa, other popular female singers right now, okay? If you're not into all of that, well, then just Google Charli XCX. It's fine. But Charli XCX has kind of coined this new term called Brat Girl Summer in relationship to her new album being released called Brat. So I'm going to get into this. There's a good article that breaks it all down, but I do want to give you guys just a little bit of background information to bring you into where we are now. So last summer, if you remember, where were you? We were all bitching about the Barbie movie. That sounds about right. Yeah. Last summer, if you turned on TikTok, if you turned on Instagram, and you were kind of in the girly space of the world, you would have seen the wellness girlies, the it girls were making sourdough bread. They were talking about purchasing chickens. They were drinking green juice. They were going to bed early. And everyone was seeing the Barbie movie. And what has now happened a year later is that the pendulum is swinging in terms of the trends right now. And so we went from Barbie girl summer last summer, although it was never officially coined that, right? We never heard that as an official Barbie girl summer. It was just kind of the way it was. The it girls were the Barbie girls. Well, this is brat girl summer. And when I heard this, I was like, oh, we're acting like brats. No, like we're acting like brats with a Z, brats dolls. That's what it's kind of alluding to, is that this is more of a brats girl summer. Whereas last summer might have been more trad wife, pink, Instagram-esque. We are now on the grungy TikTok brat side of things. And so there's an article, like I said, that I'm going to pull up that really walks through this trend, I think, well-ish, or well enough. So this is Charlie XCX. I tried to like match the vibe, if y'all couldn't tell. Like I got the matching hair and the grungy little shirt, but I'm not a brat. Okay. Like it doesn't work. So anyway, we have Rihanna, Katy Perry, Charlie XCX. They are all part of this whole brat girl summer. So this is her new album. I don't know why she's covering her thing with it, her hookah, but whatever. It says, put the pore cleansing facial strips and green juice down. Brat girl summer is here, and it means we can all stop making an effort, or at least simply make an effort to look like we've made no effort whatsoever. Now, this has been a changing trend I've seen, where people, at least women, have been trying to make less of an effort, but they still make a ton of effort. I was just, like I said, in Israel, and somebody said to me, Chrissy, it looks like you're not wearing that much makeup, or you don't wear that much makeup. I'm like, well, I've put in a lot of effort to make you think that I'm not wearing that much makeup. And in the grand scheme of things, I really don't wear that much makeup relative to what you see with other online girls. I really don't. But at the same time, that is the point, right? It is to make to make men think that we make no effort when in fact we make plenty of effort. So this is an ongoing trend. I don't see that as specifically different. It's just that when you go from like the Barbie aesthetics or the traditional, you can tell that people are trying. And I'll get into whether I think this is good or not. I just want to explain the trend, okay? Last summer, it was very evident that women were trying. Now we've swapped into, well, we're going to try really hard, but we want to make you think that we're not trying too hard, which is interesting. It's fascinating. I'll come back to that. It continues on to say, Charlie XCX's acclaimed new album, Brat, has started a movement. A movement that involves smudged eyeliner, novelty sunglasses, and a knowing look on your face that suggests you've been doing something absolutely disgraceful. Okay. Interesting. Okay. I see people in the comments saying, already, I think this trend should die. You're right, Alex. Now, hear me out. This movement already is antithetical to the Barbie movement in general, which the only reason I'm mad about it is not because I myself am slightly more girly. I probably fall somewhere in between the Barbie and the Brat, okay? I love tequila, okay? You could love it, okay? But I'm also trying to, stay healthy. I like to work out and I go to bed early. Like you can be both, okay? It's not one or the other, and you can have a healthy amount of tequila without going overboard. I don't know if that's a known thing, but I say all that to say the pendulum does not need to swing so dramatically in terms of the way that we take care of ourselves. But when we were at the Barbie side of the pendulum, I felt a little bit better about it because the Barbie side of the pendulum was at least wholesome. And the values were better. Generally speaking, last summer and with the whole Barbie core movement, it was cool to do traditionally conservative things. It was cool to, make a sourdough bread, go to bed early, have some tea, and make a mocktail. All right. That was really cool and trendy. Data actually showed a big dip in binge drinking culture among younger Americans. We see a massive change in the way that Gen Z and Gen Alpha consume alcohol. Okay. And generally speaking, when people couldn't make new friends in a new city, you would see a radical shift from, I'm going to go to the club every night and be a club rat and meet people that way, to, I might join a running club. I might do something more wholesome with my life. That is what we saw from Barbie girl summer, if that's what we're going to call it. Okay. Moving on in this article, it continues to say, this is kind of the aesthetic of it. The white t-shirt, I don't even know what that is. I think it's just rips in her dress. The sunglasses, the big necklaces. Okay, this is the core. And it goes on to say, right now, the brat trend is all over TikTok with lists explaining that it involves doing stuff like sleeping in your makeup, staying out all night, and randomly getting tattoos. Meanwhile, Charlie X herself said that all you need to do to pull it off is a strappy white tank top and cigarettes with a cheap lighter. I watched this video. It's not worth watching. It's not funny. It's not interesting. But really what we're telling young women now is that to be cool, you need to sleep in your makeup, which, hello, acne, stay out all night, which, has your mom never told you, never stay out after midnight? Nothing good happens after midnight. And randomly get tattoos that I'm sure you'll never regret. I don't understand. Do you see what I'm saying? Where my argument isn't necessarily women shouldn't look a certain way. They shouldn't embrace maybe a little bit more of a brat style look. I don't necessarily have a problem with that. What I think is that aesthetics have a weird way of impacting our thoughts, our morals, and our worldview. And I know that's a little extreme, but when you care about your looks, you inevitably begin to act healthy, eat clean, go to the gym, stay sober-minded because you care what people think about you, right? So you are inevitably going to have habits. You are inevitably going to have routines even that mimic exactly what I'm talking about, this Barbie girl core. Love it or hate it, you don't have to love it. You're likely to be nicer as well when your endorphins are high. I feel like, what is it, Elle Woods from Legally Blonde, when she's like, endorphins make people happy, and happy people don't kill their husband. Like, that's exactly what this is. Your endorphins are higher, you're more likely to be nicer. That's just how it works. When you are taking care of yourself, when you are getting on a good sleep routine, your cortisol levels are regulated. There are all of these scientific data points to showcase that being in Barbie core era should not be a trend. It should be a good general way of life. And Brat Girl Summer, what we are experiencing this summer, is the opposite. It is encouraging, actively encouraging moral depravity. And I just think that's not cool. I'm going to keep reading this article. People are saying that, this isn't newly invented. This is something that we saw with Kesha, with Lindsay Lohan. And again, y'all, do you guys remember Kesha and Lindsay Lohan? Like, who wants to be that? It's just interesting. But this article says it's true that there are similarities. While an early 2000s party girl probably used dry shampoo and drugstore face wipes to disguise the fact that she hadn't been home for a couple days, which is gross. A brat girl is less apologetic, nonchalantly having far too much to worry about disheveled hair and smudged makeup. Okay, that's where I'm going to end it in terms of reading this article, because ew, who wants to be like that? Truly, I don't understand why we're telling young girls that in order to be cool this summer, they need to not go home to their house and then not pretend like they don't care. I'll get into that. And then just look and act disgusting. You're going to look back on that one day, ladies, and regret it. Don't do it, okay? But here's the big thing. Brat Girl Summer encourages women to not care about things they actually care about. Now, there are a handful of girls who say, I don't care what I look like. I don't care if people judge me. I don't care if I'm unattained or if men think I'm gross. I don't know. It's true. What I think Brat Girl Summer tells people is that I just can't with this. Brat Girl Summer tells people, or tells women specifically, you shouldn't care what other people think. You do whatever you want. We've already seen this happen. Okay. We saw this in a movement with Alex Cooper, which I'm not going to be the one that craps on Alex Cooper and call her daddy. I have my problems with the morality of it, but in general, I find her to be very entertaining, and so I'm not going to crap all over her. She's built an incredible business too, so to each their own on that. But there was a point in Alex Cooper's career where she encouraged women to deny their inherent femininity and their inherent wants and desires. When you are 22, 23, the reason why you see a lot of young girls with dogs nowadays, I believe, is because they want to nurture their nurturing part of them. And so what they do is they get dogs because men in our day and age, sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Men in our day and age don't want to settle down, especially in their 23, 24, 25 eras. In fact, you'll see men in their 30s who are still not ready to settle down. That's a conversation for another time. But I think that women do want to settle down. Genuinely. I think they are ready to do more traditional things, but culture doesn't allow for that. And then you have trends like Brat Girl Summer that only stand to push that further. And what I liked about the Barbie core, what I liked about the Barbie Girl Summer, was that it allowed women to embrace their femininity. It's the same reason I liked the trad wife trend too. I still like the trad wife trend. It allows women to embrace their femininity. And Brat Girl Summer does none of that. In fact, it encouraged them to embrace moral depravity and hypersexualization. And where has it led so many people, right? When I think of Brat's core, I'm not going to lie, it reminds me a lot of the OnlyFans culture. And where's that led people? I've done videos, countless videos, on young women who go on to regret their time doing OnlyFans because it's a lie that you're going to feel satisfaction from sexualizing yourself publicly at that. So I just find it very interesting that this is a new trend that we're pushing on young women. But if you guys don't mind, would you mind lighting up the chat section with what your thoughts on Brat Girl Summer on? Just based on what I've told you, what do you think? Do you like this? Do you see this being a long-term thing? Are you noticing a difference? If there are dads with daughters too, if you see your daughters dressing differently, anything like that, will you hop in the chat and let me know? I just find it so fascinating. And I think that Brat Girl Summer also goes hand in hand with something known as hot rodent boyfriends. Have y'all heard about this? Hot rodent boyfriends? I'm just waiting. I'm waiting to hear yes or no's. Let me know. Because it's such an ugly trend. It's such an ugly trend. So we have Bratz girls, again, with hot rodent boyfriends. So let me pull up an article for you guys about hot rodent boyfriends. I sometimes just want to when I hear this stuff. Okay. We got the hot rodent boyfriend article pulled up, okay? It says, the hot rodent boyfriend, why Gen Z has gone wild for sexy rat guys? Ladies, we're not being serious, right? This is not a thing. No, we got Timothée Chalamet, and Jeremy Allen White. These are celebrities. These are famous men that are being compared to vermin this summer, and it's supposed to be meant as a compliment because ladies apparently really like men. I'm gonna blow this up. Men that look like rodents. Am I the only one that thinks like hell no? Ooh, yeah. No, I don't understand that. Yuck. So this is a whole thing that's going on in society right now, where where they think that this is attractive, okay? And I just think that what we're doing right now, couple the Brat Girl Summer with this hot rodent summer, and you're creating a society of free the nipple feminists and beta stick man, and I hate it here. I hate it here. If that's your MO, if you are one of the small percentage of women that actually believe that this is attractive, or you actually dress like this, which I highly doubt is a large percentage of the population. If you are of the small percentage that likes this, you do you. I let you do you. I don't like it though when it becomes a trend. Okay? That's where I take issue with this because there are a lot of young girls that are vulnerable to what they see on the internet. They see this and they want to become it. Okay? It's very easy to hop on viral trends. It's very easy to hop on everything. And we saw the insanity, the Barbie mania of last summer. And it is only the beginning of July. My fear is that by the end of August, we are going to be seeing girls in their free the nipple white t-shirts professing this Brat's core and then proceeding to date hot rodent boyfriends. And then that is going to be the next generation of people. I'm fearful. You see why I am fearful. It's disgusting. I see a comment from Alex or let me read a couple of comments. Red 4 said, I don't think this is anything new. Grunge was big in the 90s and girls dressed like they didn't give a shit how they looked. Yes, I see that. The 90s didn't have this thing called social media, which I know you guys know that. Red, I know you know that. And so my fear is not that this is like a new thing. Like I said, this was a thing in the 2000s as well with or like early 2010s with Kesha, with Lindsay Lohan. We've seen it time and time again. We're seeing it with Amanda Bynes right now. You see this all the time, right? The difference is that this stuff spreads like wildfire online. And you're not just creating a couple of girls that do this. We're creating a generation of girls that pick this up and a lot quicker than they picked it up in the early 2000s. You needed to get a magazine, you had to purchase that magazine, flip through that magazine. It took time and it would dissolve slowly through the culture. This dissolves or absorbs in the culture so much quicker. And like I said, aesthetics is upstream of the culture, of the way young women act. And sometimes you never know. It could be a very important summer for a lot of young women, and instead they spend it acting like a brat. A brat. I get fearful, especially for women in their early 20s, that they spend their time indulging in this culture of, I don't care, whatever, and then they get to being 33 and they wonder why they're single and they don't have a husband. Is it because they spent their summers acting like a brat? Throwing their nipples out there like we see in the main photo that I had on here? It's gross. It's not classy, and I don't like it. Alex, you said, whatever happened to standards? I feel like they've been lost. I feel like they've been lost a little, for sure. I don't like the way that we hold ourselves or we fail to hold ourselves up to higher standards, right? I like it when women hold themselves to high standards because it makes our men hold themselves to higher standards as well. And I know a lot of people will disagree with me on that. They'll say, well, men should hold women to high standards, blah, blah, blah. The way that the culture runs, and let me know if you disagree, I just feel like, not that women run the world, that's so cringe feminist. It's kind of Barbie of me. I don't really believe that. I just believe that a lot of women do, like, they run in the social media culture that I'm talking about. And so if women hold themselves to higher standards, men will then hold themselves to higher standards in order to get those women that are of higher standards. When we collectively as women lower our standards, we collectively as women lower the standards for men. And when we do that, the standard dating pool of men is lower. And I don't think that's cool, right? I think that's just how I see it. Again, if you guys have questions, comments, put them in the chat. I did have one other article I wanted to talk to you guys about, and for some reason, it's not in my queue. So give me a second. This one's a little off topic, but I found it to be so funny. Oh gosh, I would have found it yesterday. It was about wedding invitations and stuff, and it reminded me of gift grab, New York Post wedding invites. Let me see if I can find this. Sorry, I thought I had it queued up. Yeah, here we go. So I want to move on from my conversation about, you know, um, dating and dating life and all that stuff to one more topic. Again, today's going to be a little bit of a short stream because my parents are here in town. So, got got to get out of there or got to get out of here to go be with them. So let me get to this article. So this is in the spirit of Isabel's wedding week. This is just, I found it to be interesting. It was kind of in the realm of dating, life, acting inappropriately, specifically young people in their 20s acting inappropriately, relationships and everything. This is so fascinating to me. All right, let me pull this up. Okay, I'm getting better with the technology. You guys see this? It's working quicker. Okay, so this is bride and groom's wedding non-invite slammed as tacky gift grab. So it's the gift that keeps on giving. I love this. So this is one of the invites that people are sending out. People are sending out invites saying, please join us in spirit. You cannot come. They're sending out invitations to people that are not invited. And they don't even say, like, please come. It's, we're having a private ceremony. Please join us in spirit. And this is funny. Spirit was spelled wrong. So let's see what people have to say. A screenshot of their non-invitation has achieved viral infamy on Facebook. The trendiness of low-key matrimonies notwithstanding, outraged internet audiences who caught wind of the pair's poorly edited invitation deemed the duo greedy for gift fishing. There's no reason to send a "you're not invited" announcement unless it's because they expect gifts. This isn't even a virtual ceremony. It's just tacky. What do you guys think about this? What do you think about the whole wedding sending of invitations to people who are not actually invited? Now, I'll tell you what I think because I believe that's why you're here. I would never do that. I would never send somebody an invitation saying, please come join us in spirit only. That's weird. Please, if you're going to come, come to my wedding, I will invite you and you will hopefully come. I actually have been, I'm obviously engaged too. I get married in a couple of months. And it's been kind of a point of contention in our family where there are people, we have a relatively small wedding, about 150 people. And I wanted it to be smaller. And it was a push to get me to go up to 150. I really wanted about 120, 115. That would have been ideal for me. But we bumped it up, and I'm totally cool with this. This is not coming from a place of animosity. I'm just explaining what we did. And there were a lot of people where we knew they could not come. They're too old. My grandpa is not. He's in Canada. He's in a wheelchair. He uses a cath. He's not coming to my wedding. And it's like, do I even send postage to somebody who I know is not coming? And it's a big debate online whether you send people an invitation as a courtesy. And I am very much of the ideology that no. I have a friend that's getting married the week before me. And I told her I'm not coming to her wedding. You don't need to send me an invitation now. But people do this as a courtesy to people. It's like the pendulum, again, is so far one way or the other. We're either sending people invitations to everybody, to Chick-fil-A, to Morgan Wallen, to every celebrity, and then we're sending them to our guests to be there in spirit for gift. Or you see people like myself, which maybe it's too far, the pendulum, where I'm like, oh, I want you to be there, but I know you can't, so I'm not even bother sending you an invitation. I feel like it's probably somewhere in between where you invite people, but, they don't always have to come. But, oh my goodness, I keep doing this. I think I have the technology figured out, guys, and I don't have it figured out at all. I keep clicking buttons. But yeah, that's where I stand on the wedding invite of all of it. But I thought that was a very interesting article to just kind of talk through wedding invite culture on Isabel's wedding week. And I don't know if I showed you guys on the first day, but if you're just tuning into the stream for the first time since Isabel has gone on her honeymoon, let me just pull up some cute little pickies of her and Brock. from their wedding. Give me 1 second. All right, this is Miss Isabel in her wedding dress. Again, if you guys have not been here, I just want to make sure you guys see her. She's still alive. She's still good. I've not taken over this stream just for the next week. And yeah, this was her in her wedding dress. I love the bouquet, guys. Are you kidding me? In the backdrop. So beautiful. And then this is her and Brock together. They're so cute and so happy, and they're having so much fun on their honeymoon. All right, so we have done it all today. We've talked about Brat Girl Summer. We've talked about how I believe that Brat Girl Summer is basically just us canceling the moral compass. It's ending moral compasses and Barbie Girl Summer in the name of a trend that will honestly leave women feeling worse about themselves. We also got to touch on hot rodent boyfriends and how I think that is a symptom of rat girl summer. And of course, we got to talk about these weird wedding invitations that just are interesting to me. But anyway, that's all I've got for you guys today. But before I let you go, I do need to let you know that today's show is brought to you by Rough Greens. Traditional dog food lacks nutrition. It is dead food for our dogs. I have a very wonderful happy golden retriever. His name is Mr. Harper, and he is very grateful for patriotic and healthy dog food companies like Rough Greens. You just add their products to your dog's existing dog food, and it turns your dog's food from dead food into food filled with vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, and other ingredients that help keep your dog the healthiest they can be. You guys can get a free jumpstart trial at roughgreens.com. That is RUFF Greens, roughgreens.com. Get started there. All right, friends, enjoy your 4th of July holiday weekend, and I will see you back here on Monday.